memos, Manny's Monday memos, Manny's Monday memos, Manny's Monday memos, Manny's Monday memo, ho, Manny's Monday memo, hoes, 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 hoes. Welcome back, everybody. We are in for a treat today. I've got Charity with me and
What's
Caleb with
up?
me today, and we are going to talk about, Black entrepreneurship, being a Black creative, and
I'm rooting for
also
everybody Black.
and also about Black people supporting Black businesses. So this is definitely going to be a interesting conversation. This is definitely going to be a truth over feelings kind of day. So whatever you feel, we just need to go out and say it. And also, Danny, I'm not drinking White Claw again today. I'm actually just drinking some simple tea today, Danny. So you should be happy about that. Next I'm gonna drink some wine, probably your favorite, since you always love to talk about me drinking my White Claw. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and get straight into it. So Charity, I know it was your idea to want to talk about, being a Black creative. So what made you want to talk about that today with Caleb and I? Because you specially requested Caleb join this convo.
I did. And well, in truth, it was because I was struggling. And I was like, I feel like I am having some unique struggles that I don't see some of my white creative friends going through. And I realized this struggle is a little unique to me being Black. And when I say Black, I mean coming from a family that is not financially well off. And some of the unique stressors that I face with putting myself out there and how I'm perceived, and just navigating the holistic wellness space in a Black body, which is like what my creative endeavors are. And I was frustrated, and I was like, I process a lot through conversations. So I was like, Manny keeps it real. I want to talk to her about it. And then I had met Caleb, and I was like following his artistry. And I was like, I think bringing in a male perspective and like a more, I would say like you're a more seasoned artist, hearing that and like what you've come across to establish yourself and what's that been like. So I just want to get a couple of different perspectives in different mediums of artistry. So that was it.
So Caleb, what do you think about that? She specially requested you.
Well, I'm flattered. I try to do my best, so it makes me happy to know that your efforts or that my efforts are going noticed. And I will say that being a Black creative is definitely unique. As you stated, it's a different experience. But if you can figure it out, it is fulfilling because you know what you're up against. And so when you are able to transcend those obstacles, it's even that much sweeter. But it has been a journey. I must say, I've been doing art full time for 4 years almost now. And it's definitely been a learning experience. Even now, it's still a lot to learn, from business to the psychology to the like you say, the holistic wellness of it all. And so it's good to be able to have these conversations because there's always something to learn. And I'm sure in the conversation you and I have had, you taught me plenty in just the short time that we've been communicating. And me and Annie, we've always been bouncing things off each other for years. So I'm grateful for her too.
Yeah. I want to, we're going to circle back because there was something there that we got to unpack that. Because you said, you said that a lot of lessons learned, and you were talking about, there are obstacles, but once you transcend them, it's really rewarding. And I'm at the beginning of this journey, and so I'm hitting those obstacles. So I want us to kind of talk about that, because that's really what this is about. Like, what is it about being a Black creative, being a Black business owner, what are these obstacles we're talking about? Because everybody says that, but
so I would say if we're looking at the financial gap alone, depending on the service you're rendering, so sometimes African American people just don't have the money to spend on certain things, especially when you're talking about fine art. Sometimes my paintings can get to be thousands of dollars, and that's not just a typical thing for African Americans to just, especially like say, grew up in a middle class family. My dad wasn't just, he bought this one painting one time. Otherwise, it would we just collect paintings.
Yeah.
And Whereas on the other side of things, they tend to know the value of art and how it can appreciate over time. And so these are investments for them. And honestly, there may be even a knowledge gap there, because up until Jay-Z was talking about buying up art, it's not a thing. Or even you look at like some of the people I work with, some of the NFL guys, they got more money than Jesus, but like sometimes they don't understand.
Well, Jesus was kind of broke, so I don't know about that.
Bro, Jesus owns the world, so there's that. But like, so it's the thing is like, I can go up online and I know what your signing bonus is, and yet your book, like, if I'm saying this is how much something costs, and then you balk at me, it makes me feel weird, because it's like, you must not know what I do. Like, you must not understand that. But we understand sports. Like, if the owner were to tell that person, I'm only going to pay you this because you should just do it because you get to play in the NFL, he would be offended. But because he doesn't understand the arts, because maybe he did come from the hood and he's never ever been, like, he knows the painting is cool, but he don't know what it takes to create it. Yeah. So there's a few things, like the same disparities that exist elsewhere in society are there. The same thing, those same kinds of gaps that we have to try to bridge over time.
Yeah. Now you're talking about research language.
Oh yeah.
Health disparities.
Oh yeah, they there.
Health inequity.
Well, I could definitely tell you the big obstacle when you talk about price, Caleb, because we watched you, and we, as in your friends, we watched you like from the beginning of when you started that journey, and then to where you are now. Definitely still proud of you. But I think price is definitely a big thing, because you know how much this is worth. You need to make a profit off of it. And at the same time, I know it can be difficult to try to get friends to understand the value or to support it. I bought J. Cole, and I love J. Cole. Everybody knows I bought J. Cole from Caleb, and I didn't want to like ding him. So, guys, I actually did a payment plan with Caleb. So I would send him
loyalty.
I was like,
not. I have no problem with a payment plan, at least if it's somebody I know, because I'm not about to beat nobody upside the head. But if a friend was like, hey, because like I think my other good friend, my good friend Dylan, his Michael Jackson payment I did, but it took him like a year to pay that off. But I didn't care because he's my best friend, and so he sent it every time he get paid. He's sending me, here, and it was cool because it was like, I know you, it's all good, like we can get it done. Now I'm not gonna start painting until it's halfway done. But I have no problem doing a payment plan like that and that's probably something I should promote more. But I think the funniest thing about pricing, I think pricing, that is the most frustrating thing for a creative. The most frustrating is because, you get to a certain point and it's like my mastery has reached a certain level. Right?
That's the psychology you about to talk about.
They're like I'm a really good artist, or I'm a really good painter, I'm a really good writer. Like the quality is there. I can put my work up next to somebody who can get a $50,000 commission, and it looks just like his. And then it's like, okay, maybe he's just got the notoriety, maybe he's popular. Then I can look at my resume, and this is not to boost myself up, like all glory to God, but it's like,
no, boost yourself, boost.
No, bro, like, cause like I've worked for so many people, and it's like, what else I got to prove to y'all? Like, that's like, what else do I have to do to legitimize the work that I do?
So I sent both of you the post that the viewer sent to me. And asked, like, let's talk about it. So in this post, we see that the question is raising about why do Black women keep supporting, as they say, these Chinese nail salons. Which, by the way, that was a racist line in itself, but we're going to leave that alone. And, we have, I don't even know how to say that person's name. So I don't know, Sean Phil, whatever her name is, however you properly pronounce it. She goes on to say, because I want my nails done any day. And 9 times out of 10, when I decide I want my nails done, I'm going to pull up to the shop. No appointment, no deposit needed.
That feels kind of hit a nerve because, all right, I'm going into dark mode because there's a lot of things that you gotta tease out with. That's like it's a densely packed situation. So when you think about outsourcing, right? So there are businesses like Nike, like telephone companies, like I know you're wearing Nike, and that's why I said it, because like these are brands that we really love, you know. And the way that Apple, we all got Apple products, the way that we are able to afford them is because they say, well, paying Americans the money that they require to live is too much. So we're going to outsource production, and then we can lower the price and we can keep y'all purchasing our products. And so I think that the nail salon is kind of a similar reflection of that. Of first of all, the people with the nail techs don't always be Chinese. First of all, they be from Vietnam, Korea.
Most of
so
them,
talk to your nail tech first of all,
exactly.
if you're gonna go. Second of all, it's a little bit of a reflection of that outsourcing. How much do you think that those nail techs are getting paid? And if you really sit down and have a conversation with them, like I have when I used to go, now I do my own nails because COVID. But when you really sit down, like they are running them kind of, in some sense, kind of like a sweatshop. They only get like maybe a day off.
Yeah,
and
then most of the time it's commission only. That's a lot of people
and they work from like 8 to 8. It's a 12-hour day. They're hunched over. They're getting a lot of chemicals in their face. Like they're not being paid for the art that they're putting out. And this is kind of that similar reflection of like, well, the Black woman, she's talking about, well, I just want to roll up when I can because I don't know what my schedule is like. And I don't want to have to fork out $100, $150 for a whole set that I'm going to get redone in 3 weeks because that's expensive, but I still want the product. And so there's a little bit of a psychological, there's some psychology of economics going on here of, well, what are you really, how are we appraising stuff? And I think that this is like a bigger reflection of things that are driving these systems like climate change and like us not really understanding the value of things like meat products and what it takes to actually cultivate that stuff, and really just valuing quantity over quality because that's what feels good to us and not seeing that bigger picture. So am I surprised that she said that? No, because it is expensive. And is it a need? No. But if I can get it for cheap, why not? Similar concept with people that go and get the knockoff Prada or Gucci bags on the side of the street in New York. That's knocking off that product. That's taking like that. That's knocking down the value and the quality of a brand because you can't afford it.
Caleb, I know you don't go to nail salons. I know you're not in the nail salon getting a full set. I know you're not in the nail salon getting a mani-pedi. I know that. I'm well aware. But I still want you to chime in.
Yeah, for sure.
To this answer. So the same person, Sean Phil, is what I'm gonna guess the name is. I'm so curious. I really want to be like, why'd your parents name you Sean? Is it Sean and Phil together? So you got Sean Phil. Same way people put like Kadarius, Ladarius, Macquarius.
I know somebody named that. Stop.
So do I. I'm naming people actually. I'm not like okay. So she goes on to say, and I think this definitely hits on what Charity said and also what you said. She says, I can get my feet, nails, and eyebrows done in one place same time. A basic pedicure is not $50. They accept everybody. This part is the part that kills me, and I'm going to tell you guys why. They accept everybody and don't pick and choose who to provide service to. They can be annoying at times, but for the most part, they can offer good customer service. They work fast. And those the things, this grammar. And those the things that came to mind right now, but there are definitely more reasons. So I think the part that really hits a nerve here as a Black person is they accept everybody. I have been in a nail salon, okay?
Yeah.
And I've seen racism in a nail salon.
Yeah.
So to sit here and say that a nail tech, okay, is more likely to accept you than your own race is really troubling to me. They accept everybody. They work fast. Are these not qualities that Black people are capable of? Are these not things that Black people can do? Why do we have this mindset of they, other races, okay, accept us more than we accept ourselves? What's up with that? Because I don't know about you guys, but like, yeah, I'm biracial, but like when I go in a Black business, I feel comfortable. I'll be like, hey, I'm with the you know what I'm saying? Like I get excited. So like why do you think she would say something like that?
I think it's Caleb's turn.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, why do you think she say something like that, Caleb? They
I
accept
mean,
everybody.
over the course of American history, we've been widely trained to not like ourselves. So there's that. There's the gist of it. So if
Yeah.
if we're just grew up in a society where we kind of subconsciously learn to be afraid of ourselves, to not trust ourselves. And so of course I mean, from that standpoint, I can see why. I'm not saying it's right, but I can see why she would feel that way. And it's like you're right, it's not the truth. Um it's racist as hell. That's why it's like that's not something that we can generalize because they're Asian or of Asian descent. But no, I think the large bro, this American civilization, bro, we've always been taught one way or another to fear ourselves, to not love ourselves, to treat ourselves poorly in that way.
Mistrust
And
ourselves.
yeah, and that's kind of one of those things that we have to begin to heal individually, then in the family, then in the community, and to the population, prayerfully. And that's not going to be a quick fix. That's not something that even a black president can accomplish, unfortunately. And I love me some Barack Obama, but it's like when we put that much faith in our leaders to make it happen, it's like, no, it really starts with the individual. That's how we change the world. Like when you say, no, I'm going to love me, and because I love me, now I can love Manny, I can love Charity, I can love these other people of color. That's how we begin to change that narrative. But that's what it seems like to me, is that the greater just self-hate, I don't want to call it self-hate, but let's call it self-hate, that we've learned through the generations has manifested itself in this particular situation.
That's interesting because that's literally what so that's what I'm doing. That's my product or my service. The Unfiltered Project is something that I started a year ago, and
plug.
It is a shameless plug, but it is a relevant plug. And essentially the question I asked myself is, what would happen if I loved myself well every day for the next 365 days? I hit day 300 this week, and what I have learned is there's so much more to unravel, but I've really learned about how it truly transforms how you relate to people once you see how you've been relating to yourself and the distortions you believe about yourself, whether it be what somebody told you, be what you told yourself, or be what society overall has tried to program you to believe about yourself. And so I think what the Unfiltered Project is a space for us Black people, specifically Black young adults, because we're the next leaders. You know, like who's the Barack Obamas and the next Don Kings and MLKs and Angela Davis and Asada. That's us. It's our turn. And so we have to, shout outs. But
to the brother,
we have to, it's really like this great unlearning that we have to collectively start doing.
That's
and
so good.
If you don't know what you even learned, what is it? How are you even navigating?
That's so good. The great unlearning. Oh,
I might have to write that one down. That was kind of nice.
He wrote it down for you in the chat. Don't you worry about it. He wrote it down.
I see.
That's so good.
So let's do a little, because you brought up a good point. You said unlearning. Caleb says it starts with the individual. So have either one of you ever been guilty of the notion, you could say, you maybe said it exactly or similar to this phrase of Black people are so unprofessional? You know it's a Black business, so you know it's not in order. Have either one of you ever participated in a convo encouraging that?
It's really, I stole it, Chad. I think it was your turn, but I got to. I hate generalizations. Like I just don't, because I've been unprofessional. I'm not unprofessional now, because it's like I was just at a different part of my maturity. Sometimes I was unprofessional and didn't even know I was being unprofessional. And I don't think that is a Black trait. That's what kills me, because it's like generalizations are so, because like if that's not empirically proven, I'm not I'm not going for it. Like, unless you show me the article that says black people are unprofessional, I'm just like, I feel like there's nothing that would justify that we're more unprofessional than other folks. Because I feel like I'm a professional, but I have been real amateurish at times in my career. But it was because I had to learn. I didn't know what I didn't know, and I would think a Caucasian person or an Asian person would kind of go through the same thing, even if they were well more prepared than I was. Somebody gonna think they unprofessional because they're at a different level. Like Beyonce probably, I'm pretty sure she could look at some of these other artists and be like, that is so unprofessional. She's Beyonce. Of course she's gonna find something that looks a little unprofessional.
Yeah.
I have been amateurish at times, but I don't think that black people are unprofessional. I think social media has given that shit a voice, as it has with a lot of things in culture and society, and it's just not proven, as far as I know. Like, it's not a thing.
Right.
People just be saying stuff on social media, and because it gets a lot of retweets, they like, oh, okay, that is the journal of Twitter, therefore it is a proven fact. Like, bro, show me the evidence, bro.
The journal of Twitter.
Like, because that'd be my biggest pet peeve, especially when I have a psych background. When you hear people, bro, like I got to bring up this example. Danny gonna know what I'm talking about. I had this girl tweeted. She said, somebody said that my love language is what I missed when I was younger. And I was like, have you read the book? Like, the guy who invented the term love language literally states that you are the product of probably your environment, which means if your parents was words of affirmation, that's probably what you know. You ain't gonna miss something you don't know. And so, but that shit got so many retweets, and I'm like, now look at that. Now you out there educating people on something stupid. So now, because a few of y'all done retweeted that black people are unprofessional, now we unprofessional. Further adding to this learning curve, because now the young kids on Twitter are seeing this, and they can't block that out. They can't sit there and say, no, I'm not. I am professional. They're just taking the content in would not be unconsciously a lot of time. They're just scrolling, and now we're continuing to teach them black people are unprofessional. And so when they get a little older, now they are in fact unprofessional because that's all they've been told their whole life. And I'm saying, if we could use social media power to reverse that and say, celebrate ourselves, even if it might not feel that way at times. They say that, you know what, we are a growing society. I appreciate the efforts of black people. Like, Black Men Don't Cheat Association. I get that it's funny. Like, I get that it's hilarious. Like, I get that it's kind of a spoof, but they're doing something. And although it's silly, like they do a lot of silly stuff. If we keep this narrative that all black men cheat, it's just gonna keep, that's the nature of how it works. So even if we sit there and say black men don't cheat, I guarantee you at some point down the road, somebody will say, no, this is unbecoming of a black man. No, I'm not cheating.
Now,
Caleb, so I appreciate the work that they do.
We're gonna have to. We're gonna put a button in that because
we'll come back to that because you were doing so well, and then when you brought that in,
I think I've been like pretty deeply aware, like that there's a greater social context as to why certain businesses may have to function the way they're functioning. So I think it gets at like, what is professionalism? Like, what is your standard of professionalism? And like, what components of that are you lumping in with whiteness? And like, I mean, whiteness in like a concept, not necessarily like a white person. So I think, let me just be straight up. Sometimes I have been like, yo, this is mad unprofessional. And do I think it's because you're black? Nah, but I think that what you have been exposed to as like timeliness and being prompt, I think that plays a role in like what people have told you is valuable. And that may or may not have something to do with your black family context. But there are plenty of white people that I have met that don't understand the importance of timeliness. So I don't think it's a unique thing to being black.
So then let me ask you guys this, since neither of you like to partake in, bringing down the black business, are you overly supportive of black businesses? Like, if you see one, are you automatically like, oh my God, I got to check it out. Oh my God, I got to go see what it is. Everybody check this out. Like, Do you feel like you do the most to
Um,
support it?
Let me get the baton. Let me
yeah, you got it.
You've been first leg
I know.
here
I
lately.
know. I know. My bad.
But
My bad.
no, I think there's a level of are you pimping the system? Like, have you thought through your product? Have you thought through the aesthetic? Have you thought through what you're offering? And if I see like this ain't it, I would not sell this. Black, white, orange, yellow. Why are you selling this? So I think I do have a critical lens of like what marketing yourself and like taking that time to make sure that what you are saying, like, does it line up? Do I want to support you? Yes. And I ain't gonna support every Black business just because it's Black. I feel like that's a disservice to your craft. Like, are you about your craft? Not are you about being Black? I don't know if that
No, that clicked.
well,
That clicked.
Me and Charity are on the same page. I'm really just going to be assessing the quality of a particular brand or company. Now I'll say this: if we got two companies, we got this one, and then we got the African American one. And they even, if they about the same quality, yeah, I'm going Black. But no, I'm not going to do that at the expense of the quality. So that's just how that works. Like I'm rooting for us, but it's like I have to hold you accountable for doing things in a certain way.
But that's just I mean, that's how my mama raised me. Like, I didn't grow up getting brand names and stuff because she taught me, like, just cause you paying for that little symbol. And she was like, the quality, she said, look at on the tag. What is it? It is nylon and some other synthetic material that as soon as you wash it, it's gonna fade away and it's not gonna last. And so like this lens applies to every business model. Cause I got beef with Urban Outfitters. I think they overprice their clothing and most of their material is like flammable. Like, so we're getting off track. Quality over
Clearly.
Quality over quantity. You know what's really great quality, right? Manny's Monday Memo shirts.
Bro,
no, seriously, it really is some great quality though. What'd you say, Caleb?
What happened to my hoodie, bro?
Oh, I didn't forget about your hoodie. Your hoodie's coming.
Hey.
The hoodies feel amazing, by the way. I love them. And no, I'm not just boosting my product because it's my product. I'm telling you the truth. Like, I've got compliments like, Manny, this is actually some good quality. That's right. Because quality, baby, that quality is going to take me a lot further than just slapping something on something and just having it shrink in the washing machine or have holes the next day. There's no perfect solution to supporting a Black business, right? There's no perfect solution in figuring out why things are the way they are. There's no perfect solution in having Black people love themselves more. So what do you feel like is if you were to pick one thing to start off with, what would be the one thing that you think, I already know what Caleb's going to say, what would be the one thing that you think would help to solve these problems, to gain more support, to have Black people care, to have Black people love themselves, to not where they have to write these posts bashing Black businesses, right? Yeah. And really giving marketing to existing businesses. What do you think is the one thing that you start with?
Ha. Who up?
Manny's Monday Memos. Manny's Monday Memos. Manny's Monday Memos. Manny's Monday Memos.